Hey guys, you can't see me, not really, but that's just how it is. So sorry, sorry about your luck. No, um, yeah, I was just thinking I want to make this video here, and I want to do it while I have this gusto. But anyway, I was talking to a friend, and who's a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, same church I go to. And one of the points of this video is that just to kind of talk about, and I just kind of want to explain about how the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is God's true restored church on earth, and how all the other churches are not. They are, and how all the other churches are not. They're just not. Yeah, that's pretty simple. I didn't think it would be that easy. But I was talking to her, my friend. She was telling me about, she's a DoorDasher and Instacarter, like myself, DoorDashing. And she was telling me about how she met someone, and she said, a customer, and she said, "Have a blessed day." And the customer was like, "Oh, you're a believer?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm a believer." And she's like, "Oh, but you're a Mormon, though." And she's like, "Yeah." And then she's like, the lady was like, "Oh, well, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but they're lying to you." And she was like, "What?" And she's like, because the Bible says you can't add to it in the Book of Mormon, And then so my friend Jackie just told the lady, she was like, "Well, actually, no." She's like, "Actually, God can do anything." And they were both having a nice conversation. They were both being nice to each other. It wasn't confrontational or angry. It wasn't glad you guys can see my face for a second. It wasn't an angry conversation, and she's just matter of fact telling her, and she actually told her about the plates and everything. And so I'm just I'm so proud of Jackie. She's so cool. She got to tell people that. That's so cool. But not that I don't, or not that I can't, but it's just nice. But anyway, it's got me thinking. And my friend watches a lot of videos on Facebook Reels and stuff, and I gave a talk at church recently, which I wish I could post I wish I could post it on YouTube, but it's an audio clip, so I can't do it unless you can tell me how. But the talk was about tuning into the right channel and being on the right channel, focusing on the right channel, and not listening to a bunch of garbage, nonsense, and whatever's out there, even the stuff that's quote unquote good. Because is it really that good? Is it really? Is it and is it the best? Because if it's not, it's like there's people out there that are talking about God. There's people talking about Jesus. They're talking about the Bible and everything like that. But they're not members of the church, and they're just kind of spouting off on their own tangent. They're kind of going off on their own thoughts and ideas. And I mean, you can say that's what I'm doing, but I know I know where I'm coming from, and it's from the truth that's been given to us by revelation. But and you can make fun of me all you want. You can say religion is ridiculous, or I'm in a cult, or I'm duped, or whatever. You can tell me you're sad for me, and you can tell me that you're praying that I find the real Jesus. You can tell me all these things. Just keep those comments coming all day long, because I don't mind. I appreciate the feedback, and I will respond to you. I will also delete your comment if it's something completely misleading, or detrimental or insulting or whatever. But I'm not sure. Yeah. So there's a lot of people who make videos on Facebook Reels and stuff like that, and they're some people say, "Oh, I'm a prophet," or they say, "I'm a prophetess," or I'm a bishop. I'm a that. And they always have these explanations. I mean, there's some real characters out there in this world. If you've been around as long as I have, which is only 35 years, but if you've been around long enough and you pay attention, you will see there are some crazy things in this world, and it can be really hard to know what the truth is. It can be really hard to know which way is up and which way is down, because everyone is saying everything. So what is the answer, right? That's the question you should really ask. What's the real answer? Everyone says they have the answer, but they're saying different things. Who's right? That's the questions. Those are the kinds of questions you should be asking. But I guess the main point of this video I wanted to make was just I just wanted to touch base, or kind of shed some light on the fact that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is God's true restored church, and it is His only true and restored church. And I will unpack that, but the point of it is I want to make a point, and I'm not trying to tell you that your church is wrong, but I also am. And I don't mean to tell you that you're wrong, but I also mean to tell you that you're wrong. So in the nicest way, and the other thing is before you like click off or whatever, I just want to tell you, everybody has their own understanding. Everyone is kind of like in different places, and in their spiritual journey, let's call it that. And everyone's in different places in what they believe. And we're all in different places with God, like our relationship with Him, where we're at with that, that's what I mean. And God knows that, and He has mercy on us, and He's not going to like chew us out or beat us up or tell us we're stupid because we believe something that's not true, or because we are mistaken about something. Like, He's not going to rub our face in it. That's not who He is. That's not the kind of person He is. That's not the kind of God He is, But and the other thing I wanted to say is that everyone kind of just find what they're looking for, but everyone just kind of like finds things that work for them, right? And that's one of the things I think one of the I think there's like, if you could think of this whole thing as like a 2-step process, I would say the first step is find what you like, right? And a lot of times people spend a lot of time doing that. They spend a lot of time trying to find a church based off of how they like church, and they don't really break that down and examine that very much, but that's exactly what they're doing. I'd say that's the first step of the process. Find what you like, right? But then you start to find out, once you get what you like and once you get what you want, if you have it long enough and you think about it long enough and you start to realize it soon enough, you start coming to the conclusions that, wait a minute, I wanted this, but I don't think this is true, or I don't think this is right, or I'm not quite sure about this anymore. Like, I wanted this. This was what I wanted, but I don't feel the same way about it anymore. And you start to get to this point where you start needing the truth. You start needing the truth. The truth is the only thing that's going to fill that's the only thing that's going to do it for you, right? That's the only thing that's going to do it for you. It's the truth or nothing. You got to have the truth, or you don't want it. And that's the better place to be. So having things, the first step I'd say for, let's just say along the way, so many of us go through this process of, or go through this place of finding what we want, finding what we like, but then there's finding the truth, finding what is true. And you can find a lot of things that are true at church, no matter what church you go to. But those things are going to be mixed with a lot of other things. And all those things are not going to be true. Not all of it. There's a lot of it that's true. There's a lot of it that's not true. And if you're getting 33% truth, or you're getting 66% truth, even if you're getting 95% truth, you still have that other stuff in there. And that other stuff is what's going to cause you problems. It's going to grind your gears eventually. It's going to start on a subconscious and an unconscious level. And you're not even going to recognize it until you do. And then when you do, you're going to be like, whoa, that's not true. What the heck is that? What the heck is that? I've had that happen. But the point I'm trying to make is there's a lot of stuff out there, as you know. There's a lot of stuff out there that's not true. There's a lot of stuff out there that people say with a smiling face and with an intense, passionate voice, pointing a finger straight at you, saying things in the name of Jesus, saying things in the name of Jesus Christ, saying things in God's name, shouting out, casting out demons left and right, spitting on people, shaking, rolling on the floor, right? All these kinds of things, miraculous healings, all these kinds of things. And then there is the truth. So I want you guys to think about that. Think about how all these things are are happening, but what is true? What's the truth, you know? And another place that a lot of people are, I know of a friend of mine right now, I feel is in this place to some extent. And I can just hear him saying this. And it's, I don't know, man, you know, what is the truth? You know, I don't know. Who knows? Who really knows? And that's a good place to be too. I feel like it's a very humble, can be a very honest place to be, right? What is the truth, right? What is the truth? Good question. What is the truth, right? That's a good question. But here's something else that goes, and here's the other thing that's connected to that train of thought. And this is the bad brother. That's the good version, but here's the bad evil brother. The bad evil brother says, nobody knows. Nobody knows the truth. And that's not necessarily, he doesn't necessarily do it like, it's not intentionally sinister or anything, but it's bad because it's not true. That's why it's bad. And it's also bad because it spreads seeds of disbelief. It spreads seeds of doubt. And while it's equally important not to believe in false things, it's equally important to not believe in false things as it is to believe in true things. We just have to be careful. So we don't want to be barking up the wrong tree too much, and we also don't want to be discouraging or letting ourselves become discouraged in not believing, or in just and when I say believing, I'm going to be talking about something as simple as in not believing that we can know the answers, or not knowing that anyone knows. Or my one of my brothers has an interesting position. He shares every once in a while, where he kind of laughs at anyone who says they know the truth, because he thinks it's such an impossible thing for anyone to know. But more so, he thinks that the people who say they know are the people who really don't know. If you say you know the truth, then that must mean that you really don't know it. Because if you're going to make such a bold claim as to say that you do know it, well, that must mean that you must actually be further off than anyone who would claim to know. And I like that. I like that, but it doesn't apply anymore. It doesn't apply to me anymore. It's not really, I don't really consider that an effective place to be, or an effective thought place. Because I know, because of what I know. And you can lump me in that category. It's fine. But I know the truth. I don't know, like, everything, of course. Who does, right? Who knows everything? But I do know the truth. I do know that we are sons and daughters of God. I do know that we have been given a chance to be alive on this earth. This is our mortal probation, so to speak. This is our chance. This is our chance to become more like God. And that chance involves being immortal. So we have the opportunity to be a human being, immortal, of course. And no, that's not who we are. That's the body that we're in, and we have spirits and everything. But this is if we want to become like God, then we have to know the difference between good and evil. And that's why we've been allowed to know that. We've been allowed to find that out. And we've been given the opportunity to find that out by being given bodies and by being given lives that are temporary on this earth, as is pretty much everything else. Some things are eternal, some things are temporary. And so this life is our chance to figure things out. This is our chance to get in line, get on the boat, and do the things we need to do, get right with God, as many people say. But yeah, I know the truth. I know, like I said, I don't know I don't know everything. I'll say it that way. I don't know everything, but I do know the truth. And I know enough of the truth to be able to say that I know the truth. Because I do know the truth. I know the truth about who we are, why we're here, where we are potentially going, things like that. And I also know that if you don't know, you can find out. And I don't just mean like you can find out as in you can guess and pick your favorite flavor and pray that that's the one. I mean that you can actually pray and find out. You can ask and find out. And especially if you bark up the right trees, like the Book of Mormon, like the Bible. But when you go for the Bible, be careful about all the other churches. And be careful about what everyone says about the Bible. What you need to do is read it and pray and ask. Ask God. Say, God, I'm trying to read these. I want to know the truth. I want to know more. I want to know more about what is actually going on. I want to know more about who you are, and I want to know more about who I am and what we're here for. I want to know help me to understand. I'm reading this Bible, I'm reading this Book of Mormon, but help me to understand. Help me to understand this. Help me to see things. Show me the way you want me to see things. Show me the truth. Teach me the truth. Help explain it to me. Please remove all the veils of disbelief, inaccurate belief, distortion, illusion, insanity, false teachings. Please remove all those from my eyes so that I can truly see, and pray that, but don't just sit around, don't just pray that and be like, okay, well, you didn't really ever answer me, so, I just kind of gave up. No, don't be that. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. Pray, but continue to seek actively. The only way this works is you have to do stuff. You have to put in effort, meaning you have to. That doesn't mean, well, I tried. I'm trying. I'm trying. It's like, yeah, but are you really trying? What does trying mean? You really just hope it happens, or does trying mean that you're reading your scriptures and you're chasing down every lead you can chase down? Are you chasing down every lead? Or are you just hoping that God's going to open the sky, appear to you and say, hey, here's the truth? You have to pursue it. You have to track it down, you know what I mean? But he does answer questions. He does answer prayer. He does answer, especially when you're sincere. You have to be sincere, true intent, real intent. But, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and talk about how the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is God's true restored church. And it is, if you read in the New Testament about what Christ says his church is to be or how it's supposed to be, you will read about prophets and apostles and things like that, and amongst other things. But that is what we have. And I'm not just saying we have prophets and apostles, therefore we are the true church. Because a lot of places, we're not the only church that has prophets and apostles. I'm stuck in some snow ice right now, but it's fine. Not really stuck, just crunchy time. But all of these things. But I'm trying to help you guys find your way. And maybe you're not even looking. Maybe you don't want to find your way. Maybe you're happy with your way. Maybe you think you found the way. Maybe you don't need me to help you find the way, but I am going to help you find the way anyway. You can always click off this video. But one of the things about it all, and part of the reason why you hear all these different people saying all these different things, they have all these different beliefs about the truth and about God and the Bible and what the truth actually is, and they're very sure. They are very, very, very sure. They know exactly what they're saying, and they know the truth, and they're here to tell you, and they're just praying for you. I'm not trying to make fun of them, but they know the truth, and they know it, but do they really? And do you really? Do you really? Are you sure? How strong is your testimony? How much do you really know? How sure are you? How do you know that you know? How do you know that you're not being deceived? Things like that. But anyway, look into those things. I gotta go, but thanks for watching, you guys, and I hope to continue this train of thought.